Hey everybody, Eric Steckel here. Just want to remind you to check out my buddies Dave and Ty on the Nez Says Show, Thursdays at 8 p.m., right on Dave's YouTube channel. I was a guest on the show a couple months back. We had a great time. So if you're a guitar player, you love guitar-related content, check out the show. You won't regret it. See you guys later.
And we're live. Today's Thursday, December 3rd. You know what that means?
What does it mean, Dave?
It means happy birthday, Larry.
It means happy birthday, Larry.
Thank you. I'm just posting this on my Facebook page so that people can see it.
Awesome. Well, you're tuned into Nez Says, a place where musicians can get together and inspire each other to play more guitar. As always, I have my co-host and faithful partner here, Ty Price. How are you, Ty?
Hey, Dave, it's good to see you. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute for both of us.
Yeah, no, it's good to see you, and it's good to be back, and with such a special guest, an alum of Nez Says. You know, everybody knows Larry Mitchell, and a Grammy Award-winning producer, engineer, performer. He's toured the world. He's released 9 solo records. Wait a minute, more than that now, because we're going to talk about 2 new ones. Larry is widely known for his virtuosity. He's got dozens of awards and accolades, and we're so excited that he has decided to join us here on his 26th birthday. We're so happy to have the very talented and distinguished Mr. Larry Mitchell with us. Larry, welcome.
Thank you. 26. Got to add a few years to that.
I remember when you were 26.
Yeah, we probably met when I was 26.
Mm-hmm.
My first record came out when I was 26.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And now there's 2.
It's almost there.
There's 2 new records to talk about, Larry. I mean, you've been very busy.
I have. It's been interesting. Let me move over here. Get my radio voice on. It's been interesting. At the beginning of the pandemic and the stay-at-home orders, I was working on producing 2 artists. Katie Martin, we were finishing up her record, and a new artist, Jeannie Karen's record. And we were probably a day away from finishing Jeannie's record. And actually, if we had really worked hard, we could have finished it that night. But her daughter texted her that they just canceled the NBA season. And we're like, what? That's crazy. So we stopped to watch and talk about that. And then we didn't get back to working on her record until, I want to say, September. Yeah, probably September. And, or October. October, that's what it was. And so that delayed things. But for a while, what I was doing, I was waking up and working on picking one of Katie's songs or Jeannie's songs and working on that. And then I take a break. Actually, what I would do, I wake up and watch The Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal with my mom.
That's awesome.
And then work on, we've been big on The Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal. And she's watching right now. My mom's watching. And then I would work on either one of their songs, and then I would work on some stuff for me. Then I'd work on, I'd either take a nap or I would watch a movie or a TV show, and then I would work on either one of their songs again or go straight into working on one of mine. So it was good. I was learning stuff. I was watching, I'm drawing a blank on Andy. I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos, learning how to get better as a guitar player. And I was working on some music for me, and I was writing. Stuff was coming out. And then it got a little dark for a while because of my Facebook feed and I want to say the end of April, May, till the beginning of June, my Facebook feed was just like an obituary column of people I know from New York, Dave, and a lot of people in New York and New Jersey. And so then the writing shifted, and I was just writing a lot. And then I wrote, I was working on some acoustic stuff because I was picking, sometimes I'd be watching a movie and I'd have my acoustic guitar and I'd be playing. So I wrote some acoustic stuff, I wrote some electric stuff, and most of my records, except the first two and then the last one, Deja Vu, I think they all have at least one acoustic song on there. And in 1994, 95, I released an acoustic record, Escape. It's all acoustic. And people keep asking me, when are you going to do another acoustic record? And it's like, I don't know. And I put acoustic songs on some of the other records. And a lot of times I get people like, it's just, I really like to just listen to the acoustic sometimes. And other people are like, yeah, I'm in the mood for the electric record. I really want to just keep rocking. And so I decided I was going to make two separate records. And then I was like, it's too much. People don't listen to full albums too much anymore. So maybe I'll do an EP. Because that's what I've been telling artists that I've been producing to do, is not to do a full record, to do EPs. So I put a limit on it for myself, which I did break. But I said I'm going to do 5-song, two 5-song EPs. And then maybe I'll continue them next year as do another 5 songs, and then they'll be continued. I didn't think I was going to press any physical CDs because I'm not touring, and I didn't want to be traveling to the post office a lot, mailing CDs and stuff. And
Sure.
so I said I'll do 2 5-song EPs, and then next year, either when I can travel again, I'll either put them on one disc, which will piss people off, some people off, or I'll continue it and write 5 new songs for each, 5 new acoustic songs for the acoustic record, 5 new electric songs. Mm-hmm. But I kept writing. So every time I thought that I had the records done, I was like, I'd write some more, different things would inspire me. And then I was stuck on how do you release something during this time. It was crazy. It was just crazy. If you think about the summer we had, it was just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know what to do. And then, of course, it got a little bit later, and I was writing, and I went to check. I said, I'm going to release it on I had talked to an artist that I produced, Katie Martin, and she had released stuff on Bandcamp, and I had never done that before. I said, I'll release stuff on Bandcamp. And so I got ready to check the mixes, and a flood of new stuff came out. So there's 2 songs from both records, 2 songs from the electric record that survived since May, and then 2 songs that survived since probably the end of May, June, on the acoustic record. The others have been replaced. And what's been good about it, it's been a lesson because I put that false limit, and I did break it on the acoustic record. There were 6 songs, acoustic EP, and the electric EP, there's 5. So it was a good lesson, as in, I was like, I could put 12 songs in there, but I'd never put 12 songs on a record anyway. And I said, no, I'm going to stick to 5. And so I really forced me to figure out what I wanted to put on the record, what made it a whole record if you listen to it as a record, and what was strong enough to be on the record. And I kept going back to when I worked with Rick Ocasek from the Cars. He told me, and I'm waiting for him to come out, that for every Cars record, he wrote 40 songs. And they would fully record, mix, master 20, and then they would pick the best 10 out of that. And that's bold. That's, it's like, and I finally got to do that this year because I had double the amount of songs for each record. And I was like, okay. And then I think about the last song on the acoustic record is I Do Love, which is really just a guitar with some effect on it. And it's nothing elaborate or anything like that. But if you listen to the whole record, and there are other songs that have ripping guitar solos and lots of other stuff. And I even have a track that Jeff Bowders played on. I'm going to release it later on at some point. When you listen to the whole thing, if you grab the vibe of where that record comes from, then I Do Love makes perfect sense for it. It's kind of like to wash everything down and just reflect. And that's what I needed after doing it. When I was listening to all the songs, I was like, okay, if I put another rock into it, it just keeps going. But this let you know that chapter was over, to me,
Like an ebb and tide.
like an event. Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was that's what it's like. I forgot the original question. I'm sorry.
No. We're gonna dive into all of the tracks that actually made the record. But so what will become, since you had twice as many, and you were, what's going to become of the ones that didn't make the record?
That's interesting. I'll have to figure that out when I get to it. I could do it with what I believe Rick did, which was just put those in a vault someplace and let it go and write more stuff. See where I'm at. Every now and then, one of those may come out to end up on something. If I ever get stuck and can't write again, those songs are cool. I don't think that I'm not saying that they suck or anything. I just think that they were right for this particular experience.
Very cool.
Right.
So,
You want to get right into it?
no. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we can. I need to warm up. I'm gonna annoyingly play when I find a pick. Okay.
Hey, Dave, you want to say hello to?
Yeah, let's
some
say
folks
hello to
in the
everyone
chat?
in the chat real quick. Oop, hang on a second. I almost screwed that up. All right, at the top
guess-
of the
I
chain
should
is
open up
Thunder
the-
Falcon, Music Therapy Laz, David Scher, Ben Coombs. Hey, Ben.
Hey Ben.
Ben,
Hey,
again,
Ben.
very sorry about your mom.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. So sorry about your mom.
Thomas Santiago is here. Tim Seymour. Dan of New Jersey.
Hey, Dan,
Charles Green. Quentin James.
Quentin.
Dwight Bailey is here. Great video last
Dwight.
week, Dwight.
It's a great video. The Music Box was the latest video from Dwight. It's great stuff.
Yes, Fruitcake Tony is here.
Hey, Tony.
Let's see. 7/8. Hey now.
Hey, Jay.
Hi Jay.
Terry 3Gs is here. Sabrina Lamb. Hi, Sabrina. Sabrina Lamb is a moderator at for Larry Mitchell on his Tuesday and Sunday nights.
Oh, very
Nobody's
cool.
saying
Thank
hello
you for
back.
joining us.
Charlie S is here. Guitar Man 45 is here. Papa Blue is here.
Hey, Papa. Hey, Guitar Man.
Janice Lala is here.
Hi Janice.
Hey, Janet.
Stephen Familio is here. Hello, Stephen.
Steven. Yeah.
Hi Steven.
Sabrina says Larry doesn't look a day over 30.
30 what?
30 or dirty? I don't understand.
30 plus.
My mom, Beverly Cooper Torres, is here.
Hey Mom.
Beverly.
Randall Fisher. Hello, Randall.
Randall.
Papa Blue, Charles Green.
Pooh Ninja is here.
Hey, Pooh Ninja.
Let's see. Cameron Brown. Cameron Brown, I gotta tell you, and I'd say this every time he joins us, one of the best guitar players on the planet. Larry,
he's
you
amazing.
need to YouTube Cameron Brown. He is
All right.
incredible.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Diane
Yeah.
Marshall is here. Says, happy birthday, Larry. Doug and Diane from Florida. CNT MPL8R is here. Hi, Larry. Hi, guys.
Hi, hello.
Steve Stafford is here.
Hey, Steve.
Oh, we have a lot of people here. A lot of people. All right, we'll say hello to more people as they come in. We have 40 people with us right now.
So glad everyone joined us.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm not muted anymore, right? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can
We
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I think Mike Neese is here as well. I didn't say hello to Mike Neese. I'm sorry.
Hey, Mike.
All right. So
Yes.
Let's start this. Which record came first? Which EP came first? Was it the electric record or the acoustic record? How did that come about?
Every day was freeing. It was just like, it was funky times. Nobody knew what was going on. And actually, I got sick in right after NAMM. We call it NAMthrax if you've been to NAMM.
Yeah.
And I was right after NAMM. Went to Phoenix, Arizona, and did a thing at the Alice Cooper's Solid Rock School. And I was staying with my friends Carla and Bill in their guest house. And when we got back, they were at NAMM as well. When they got back from NAMM, they were sick, and I was not feeling the best. And right at the day after Alice Cooper's School of Rock, I got really sick. Like, I had the flu. And so they were in their house with the flu, sick, and I was in their guest house, half dead. And I was there for, I think, 9 days, and then I finally got strong enough to flew home, and then I was in bed for another bunch of days. So it was funky time. And it was, like I said, it was freeing. I was working on stuff. I'd come back, gone to Florida, done some things with special needs kids, gone to Virginia after being sick, and did some stuff with Dawn Avery. Came back, and the world kind of flipped upside down. So every day I would just kind of get up, and I don't know if you saw, Dave, I think I showed you, I had bought some bare feet.
Yeah, big bare feet.
That's the frame of mind I was in. I put on my bare slippers every day, and I'd go in and work on stuff. I believe the first 2 songs that I did were electric. And I'm going to say they were Tunnel, and then Fear No Evil. Because I actually started Fear No Evil, which was called Phoenix, when I was in Arizona. And when I had the flu, I still did my Tuesday Night Live show, and which took every bit of energy I had. And when I was setting, I had to set up really early one day because I was like, I don't know that I could move gear into their living room in front of the fireplace, set up, and then be ready to play and mentally ready to play. When you're sick, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm sick, I can focus on absolutely one thing at a time. Like it's okay. It gets narrow. Not like playing guitar and doing a live thing. That's not one thing. Playing a guitar is not just like I can focus on just one thing. All right, I got a solo. I'm gonna focus on soloing. That's it. I don't worry about the rest of the song or anything. So I set up and I was sitting there playing, and I think there was probably a half hour before the show went, and I think. I know Carl and Bill, I think, are watching. But I had a strong desire for this melody and actually the progression into the melody. And so I did it real quick. I think I did it in GarageBand. You got a clogging problem, Dave.
Yeah, it's thunder upstairs. I'm going to murder these people.
No, don't say that.
No, I'm just kidding, but close to it.
You hit him in the face with a pie. That's what.
My mom's on here. She could probably
whipped
hear
cream
it.
pie. That's what you're gonna whip cream pie them.
My mother is the landlord for the complex up here. I'm sure she hears this, and it's gonna make her furious. It's good. It's good.
So anyway, I did a quick piano, quick bass, and a quick drum outline, and I said it was gonna do it. I think Bill and I were talking about modal playing, and that's a whole nother thing of me going, okay, yeah, all right, I do that, okay, and so I believe the first, where did I put it? The first version. Of Fear No Evil. I should have done this before, but I didn't realize I was gonna. Oh, did I spell it the way they do? Nope. Wow. The first version of Fear No Evil is very different, and if I could find it, it would be awesome. But it came out, and the way it is on the record, and talking about the dark place I was in. The second title, so the first title was just Phoenix. The second title was Walk to the, yeah, it was, I think it was just Walk to the Valley of Death. Can you tell I was in a dark place?
Dude, pissed off.
No, I wasn't pissed off. Just a dark place. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so this is the way to first start it. I think it's just the... let me know if you cannot hear it. Coming up.
Hear it.
Anyway, so that's the way it started, and I did it live on the show. I kind of put that together and had the melody, and that I did that live on the show, and it was just in a weird space. I think Carl and Bill were like, "Are you okay?" And then that turned into. I remember what I was supposed to do before, which was make a set list. Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so that turned into this. Oh. Right track. Right.
Steven says, I wish I could pull such an awesome melody even when I'm sick. Or even when I'm not sick. I mean, I'm with you, Steven. I do too. That's pretty amazing.
Anyway, I kept getting
Bravo.
distracted. So,
Bravo.
Thank you.
That sounds
fantastic.
amazing.
but you hear where it came from with the with the other version with the,
Sure.
the piano.
Yeah. It's amazing, and everyone in the chat is saying so as well.
Thank you. Well, I hope everyone checks
Yep.
it out because the solo is a little bit more thought out on the record than I just did it. I tried to do it close to the record, but like I said, I kept getting distracted. But
You got a lot of compliments on the wah, Larry.
on the wah, I like the wah. I've been accused
Yeah.
of using the wah too much. I've been accused of using delays a bit too much too.
There's no such thing. What's your go-to wah?
Well, right now I'm using the fractal. I'm using
Okay.
everything's modeling. I'm using the Asphyx 3 now. On my Tuesday Night Live show, I use my FM3, which is over there, which I'll show you guys in a. If Dave wants to.
Yep,
It's
I
there.
will.
And my dog shed, so the carpet has a lot of. There it is.
Very cool.
So that has an FM3 and an Eventide H9 on it, and then
H9.
there's an air step on there for switching some scenes and for switching camera angles when I'm playing on Tuesday.
How do you integrate the H9?
It's in the
the
effects
fractal?
loop. It's in the effects loop of the FM3, and I use it mostly for reverb and some pitch stuff, and it's another delay because I love delays. And lately, I've just been stacking lots and lots of delays and getting funky rhythms and stuff. It gets a little out of control, but I've always loved delays.
So let me ask, Larry, why is your HM3 and your H9 brown?
Why not?
Okay.
They both have wood plates on it from this guy Chad from Boston. He makes them wood tops. And
Very nice.
if you remember, my AX8 had, and my Asphyx 2 had wood face panels. Stuff like that.
Very cool.
But back to the wah question. So in the fractal, I use I don't have screen sharing. I use the color tone for most of it, and then the Clyde, which Dave turned me onto the Clyde. I still have a Clyde that Dave gave me. We traded.
Is that where that went?
Yeah, I have a white Clyde wah.
That's
Very
cool.
cool.
I'm not a Clyde. I have the white. What is the full tone? The full
Yeah,
tone
full
Clyde.
tone Clyde,
Yeah. So I use the
Great
color
sounding
tone. Yeah, it is. I use the color tone, and then I use the Clyde. And most of the time, I use the color tone on the clean sounds, and the Clyde on the dirty sounds. But lately, I've been using a lot of the color tones. So and also I have it set up as an expression pedal because I like to do things like. So I'm playing into a note. And I end the note with the wah, with the tone off. Or slide into it, wah into it in a note. Sounds better if I turn off the. I need another system for this, so I can get to it quicker. Now I can't.
I want to ask you
I
about
can
that
see the comments.
delay too.
Yeah, that's some really good delay.
So I'll just do it again. All right, I will talk to Lady Say. I'll do that again without the microphone on. So right there, like this is all. So the last note is the only one that has the full tone on it. So this is wah down or back. And what that sounds. So that's where I'm doing I'm just using the wah on every note but the last note. And here's where I'm using the wah only on the last note. So
Yeah.
it keeps some notes from being like piercing and stuff like that. But yeah, I like the wah a lot. I break. I've been known to break a few expression pedals.
So what expression pedal are you using now?
That is the Fractal EV2. I've only broken one of those. I've broken. I have a. I forget the name of the company. A lot of people use them. It's a metal enclosure, like a. Oh, Mission
Mission
Engineering.
engineering.
Mission Engineering.
Mission engineering.
Yeah, it's a good pedal. I broke it once, got it fixed by a friend of mine, and it's cool. And then I've broken several of the Boss
EV5s? The Boss
EV5s.
EV5?
Those are great because I fly and I travel and I have to carry stuff. And it's if you're doing one fly gig, you're flying there, you're flying back. It's easy to carry some stuff. When you are traveling for like two months, all that stuff gets really heavy. And then when you're going in and out of another country, and you can't take a rolling cart through passport control, and you got to carry everything that you have with you through passport control. Every pound counts. So the EV5s are great for that. Every pound counts. And after 2 months, it starts to build up on you. At 2 months and 56 years, it starts to build up on the body. So delay, and actually Dave and I were going to get together and talk about delays for a time there.
We're still going to do that.
Okay. One thing, because I get some questions, I get quite a few questions after every Tuesday Night Live, and I'm using modeling, which I love. I have some real lamps here too. I'll show them to you in a little bit. I have pedals. I have a lot of real pedals, a lot of or just pedals in general. I like digital delays for certain things. I like analog delays for other things. I like a hybrid, and now I'm starting to love tape delays. I can't do all the cool. I can't do all the cool delay stuff I do that I love with just an analog delay. Yeah, they don't have enough time. The repeats are just a little weird, and it gets messy in the mids in the repeats. But then when you're soloing and you're doing stuff, certain kind of things that's perfect for. Yeah. Absolutely perfect. And certain kind of things are mono, and I love the stereo. So most of the time I'm running a dotted eighth on my left side and a quarter note on the right side. And I do keep them the same because I've had to, every now and then you end up running where you could only hear one side. Whether the monitors, if I'm playing with a singer or something like that, or if where the PA is. I don't like summing to mono, so I might just only monitor one side, plug in the other side, but don't plug into anything else. So I always want to make sure that I'm always consistent. So the left side's always going to be the shorter delay. So they'll have the dotted eighth note, and the right side will have the quarter note. Because if I'm expecting dotted eighth and I hear quarter notes, that throws me off a little bit. A little weird.
The width of it.
So I have so like this is let's see. I have a couple different delays set up in here. This is a dual delay, but the EQ is rolled. This is a digital delay, a mono digital delay, but its EQ is rolled off at the highs are rolled off to about 4,000 hertz. So that's kind of in between a tape delay and an analog delay. So it has a vibe to it, but if I play, let's see, I think this is, get rid of that. All right, so this is, so here's stereo tape delay. Same time frame. Dotted eighths on one side. Quarter notes on the other side. You hear the repeats?
Sure do.
Oh yeah.
Very different.
Yeah, the whole delay is different.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get the. All right, so now. So to me, tape delay sounds like the repeats are in a hurry. You know, forget about the amount of time that you put it on. But it just feels like it's more aggressive.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
They're right on the one. I mean, they're right on the beat.
It's aggressive. It's definitely aggressive. So the EQ on it and that is 5. It cuts off at 5. So this is actually, but the repeats are different, and it's got a rounder slope at the end there on the highs. And then when I do, let's save that. When I do something like the Traveler. So I'm not looking at you guys. I'm looking at your screen. I get a Traveler, everything's very different. So I can't do that with an analog or a tape delay.
Right.
So and actually I have that pretty, that's still pretty rolled off. Normally it should be about here. Should be a phaser on. Sorry, different rig. And
That's
then
amazing.
When I do stuff like that, I should say that. When I do stuff, let's see, another good example is, so here is Sister. So, Sister lead. Sometimes I actually do it where it's oh, that's right. Yeah. All right. So this is. So that's the tape delay. But I also do part of the melody, and it's on like a stereo Memory Man. Deluxe Memory Man, and that's a sharp. That's a sharp. Cuts off at 3,000 hertz, and it just drops. So therefore, I raise. That should be sorry. It should be a dotted eighth, and this should be 75%. So if anybody has an Axe-Fx, you know you can't. It looks like the dual delay is the only one that has 2 different delay times. But if you look at the bottom on anything that has 1 delay time tempo, if you look at the bottom, it says left-right time ratio. If you put it at 75, that'll give you dotted eighths. If you put the tempo at a quarter note, and then the ratio at 75, you'll get the same thing. So when I use like the Memory Man kind of thing, the repeats are up a lot, usually 40%.
Larry's left-hand exercise sounds better than any solo I've ever done in my life.
No. It's a fun exercise. You know where I got that from, right? That's
yeah,
the
Satch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very funny.
So let me give a little context in that.
Citizen Kane wants to know how you're feeding your signal into your computer.
Oh, dude, that is like... Dave knows. I have tried many times. Zoom is my least favorite thing in the world. and then after that has been StreamYard. I've done some shows where I could not play on it. Even at the last time I was supposed to be on this show, I was going to play. I quit that. I was supposed to play, but I couldn't get it to sound right. So today I was like determined, and I was watching some more videos. I dug out an old MacBook Pro. I mean, it's really old. And I have a C entrance. So there's the MacBook Pro. I have a C entrance mixer face interface, which I use on my Tuesday night lives and my Sunday night acoustic live on Facebook. So I have this giant rig. The Axe-Fx 3 is going into the Universal Audio thing, and the whole up there. You can see I have to mute the microphone when I'm playing, otherwise you'll hear the pick attack, which I hate. And it all comes out of a headphone out of the of the interface. So I'm using the least high-tech output of my rig, of my whole studio, into the mixer face, and then digitally out of the mixer face into the laptop, because nothing else seems to recognize anything. I can't get the universal audio interface to be recognized by StreamYard or Zoom, or when it does it in a funky way. So oh, so I know what I was going to do. So here it is. Let me just make sure that's going to do the right thing.
Hey, Dave. Maybe you can answer this question. So Larry's using the Axe-Fx to create this. Well, he's running stereo delays.
Yes.
So if one of our viewers look saying, "Hey, I'm not running stereo, I'm running mono," how would you advise them in getting as close to Larry's delay?
That bump.
Yeah,
That thing.
if they're running mono.
If they're running mono, I would probably get them into like a Catlin bred Echo Rec, because that's more of an Echo Rec thing. You can get that sound of an Echo Rec. That's probably one of the only types of delays that you can get that exact thing going on with one delay unit, or you have two delay pedals on your pedal board and have one on quarter note and the other one on dotted eighth note.
And that would work even in a stacked mono kind of environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So for you guys that are wondering, how you do that on a mono rig, there's an idea.
I would, if I was doing a mono rig, I would just use one delay. I would use probably the dotted eighth note, and you would get better. For me, I would get better results. We're using an analog delay, so the repeater. But you have to find one that has a long enough delay time to play in the tempo of for your song.
Well, my recommendation is the JHS Lucky Cat. I have one on my board.
Okay. Cool.
It's the best single delay pedal I've ever had.
Cool.
It does pretty much everything, and it's easy to use. It's all right in front of you. It's 4 knobs, and it tells you what to do on the knobs, where you are, where a dotted eighth note is, where a quarter note is,
cool.
where triplet is, everything. It's incredible.
Cool.
I'm sorry, it's 5 knobs. It's not 4 knobs.
5 knobs?
5 knobs, but it's super easy to use. And it allows you to sound like a digital delay, which it is. It's a digital delay, and it also allows you to sound like an analog delay because it has a dark knob on it, so you can make it darker and make it sound analog.
I like Pooh Ninja's underwater phase effect provider free by StreamYard. Pooh Ninja, does it sound underwater to you? That's what I worry about. That's what I hate.
It doesn't sound it to me.
No.
It sounds great.
It might sound that way on some mobile devices.
Man, get yourself a MacBook Pro. It's Christmas time. Ask
So
your wife for
7/8
MacBook Pro.
7/8. He's agreeing with Larry too, saying for a mono use one, two could be a mess.
It gets a little messy. But yeah, and then most of the digital delays now do some sort of analog modeling thing with the EQ and stuff, and they sound really good. I mean, if you're really stuck on an analog delay, that's one thing. But if you need multiple different types of delays, then some of the like the TC electronic delay, the four button one or three button one, that works really
Flashback
good.
times 4.
Flashback, and my ray guns.
And
Flashback.
Steven was recommending a TC Nova. Yeah.
Yeah, TC Nova's good. I used to have one of those. I also even Eventide H9 has lots of delays in it. You could use that you could buy that and just use that as a delay pedal. It just does so much more. So I was going to say, so here's a song where I'm using tape delay, analog Memory Man type delay, mono digital delay, and a dual delay. So this should be.
I'm going to put you on solo here so people can see you.
So on Sister, I starts with actually, it should be this delay. So that's wide, kind of wide in stereo. And then when I go do the dotted eighth note thing, it's just one delay mono, dotted eighth. It's got a flanger on it as well. Then when I go into the melody, so now I got a phase, a fuzz on, and analog Memory Man stereo. And then goes back to the same thing, and when I go to the solo, so and that should switch to. Sorry, I'm on a different rig. That should switch to this. It's a good thing I checked. So that is my tape delay. And so that EQ is rolling off at 5. So we got EQ rolling off at 3 for the Memory Man, 5 for the tape. The digital mono is 9,000. So that's up there. And then the wide delay is full open, like a 2290. So actually, it's higher than a 2290. I'll make it down to 2290 time is like 16, something like that.
That's cool.
So let me just do this, and let me give you an example. All right, so this is Sister. A little bit of that. I'll just play a little. I'll play up into somewhere in the solo. This used to be. Kind of was.
And so everyone knows this is not an either of the two new EPs.
Right. Thank you, Dave.
No problem.
I'm just doing this to show
Oh yeah, no, this is good stuff.
concept on how I do it. Because I've heard people talk about, oh, I can't play in stereo, blah, blah, blah. And even though I'm in stereo, and I've been doing this forever, the rig is not always in stereo, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
So, like I said, in the intro is as wide as it's going to get. The intro is, let me make sure. Actually, it's supposed to be this. Flexi verb. No, it's supposed to be D10. Oh, that's why. Like I said, this is two different rigs, and I haven't updated this rig in a while. now that should be swirling a little bit more. Hold on. Oh, there we go. All right, so that's as wide as it's gonna get. And then when I switch to the dotted eighths, it's mono. Then it's pseudo stereo again. Back to wide. Mono again, and then the fuzz, and then the lead, which is the only thing in stereo then is just the delays. So sometimes the swirl is in stereo, and that makes it wide, but that's only in three sections of the song. 2 sections of the song. Mm-hmm. Then when I want the delay to be main focus, it's mono. And then when the delay's background, for the melody, it's the Memory Man, which is a little nastier and a little dirtier. And then when I do the solo, it needs to be a little cleaner and out of the way. So let's see. Here we go.
That's cool.
I'll give it a shot. I got to mute the microphone so I don't hear that pick attack thing from the mic. Anyway, I had the wrong delay on. I was like, "What's going
so
on?"
good,
it was
man.
it was attached to the expression pedal, so when I was whying, it was changing the delay. But I fixed it. Anyway, so that's how I use it. So that's going through 4 different delays in one song. It's all subtle stuff. Most people don't play are like, I don't hear the difference. But,
It sounded amazing.
It sounds so good, and the fuzz pedal's getting all kind of love in the chat. It was Dan, I think Dan from New Jersey first, that said that fuzz pedal is a real game changer, and
cool.
yeah, I mean the fuzz pedal is an amazing thing, right? I mean it's not just about it doesn't just belong to Jimmy. I mean all of us can. I mean even Slash, a 2-hum Les Paul player, uses a fuzz pedal. I mean, and the way Larry's integrating that into the tone, there's a real bite to that. There's a real cut.
I like the fuzz. Actually, I gotta thank Dave for getting me onto the fuzz, because I was like, I didn't understand fuzz. And my first pedal ever, the first ever effect I got was a Little Big Muff.
Oh sure, yeah.
And I liked the name. I didn't know what it did, and I was like, "Wow, what's this?" And I was like,
I had the bigger one. I had like the big rectangle one. The big silver rectangle.
I gotta get out of this conversation.
I got
It's going nowhere fast.
okay.
No.
I got like all kinds of weird distortion in my ears going on here. Hold on. I got to turn them off and turn them back on. Testing 1. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Say something.
Check 1, 2.
No, it's still distorted. It's weird. I blew out. Maybe I blew out my ears. No, because I can hear it in here. Interesting. All right, it's just fuzzy.
Sorry about
speaking
that.
of fuzz. Speaking of fuzz.
Well, it sounds great. Tonight's the first time I actually heard fuzz in that song. I know you've probably been using it for a long time, but it didn't register to me until you had it where there was no music around it. You were just playing before you played the song. You were just playing the parts. I actually heard the fuzz. I was like, wow, that's fuzz.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
When I do the melody is, I'm using the octave distortion. And I think, Dave, I spoke with you about it. I was like, I can't get it to sound right and feel right. And you're like, oh, you probably have the drive too high.
Yep, drive's got to be lower.
I got
And
the drive
it really
on.
depends on the pickup you're on, too.
Yeah, I have the drive on almost 1.5. So. Dave's my guru, because it's like, hey, Dave, I can't get this to work.
I try.
Let me turn the mic off. Hold on.
Yeah, it sounds really good. It really, it sounds the best above the 12th fret. It just always does.
Well, because of the octave. That octave's in there. So
Yeah.
it gets a...
And lucky for you, Larry, that you have a neck position satch track in your bridge, because fuzz, octave fuzz, sounds the best on a neck pickup. And since that bridge pickup is a little less bright, it sounds amazing on that pickup.
I think that's a really keen observation, Dave. I mean, you're absolutely right. Especially like when Larry was just climbing in fifths right there, up the neck. I mean, how much bite that fuzz adds to each one of those notes.
Yeah, I like it. I use it. I'm trying to use it a little bit more. I use it in another song where like back in the day I used to have elaborate rigs. Dave used to move them around. But I can't do because I have the fractal. I can do everything I had in the elaborate rig and in the pedal board rig, and then more stuff. So one of the things I do in let's see, I hope it does it in this. All right, no, I have to. All right, I have to set it up this way. It does do it. I just have to fix the.
And Jay, I will show my pedal board. Just give me a little bit. Let's get through this with Larry first. Let's show it in a little while.
And then the wah. Yep, that's broken too. Here we go. All right, so in one song in Reflections, I'm just gonna show you it.
Sure.
In the again, the same kind of thing. It's really wide in the very beginning of the song, and then it goes into. I have to. So I have my wah comes on when the pedal is down. Well, when I move the pedal, when the pedal is up. Sorry. Like that. Most people have it so that it's always like this, but sometimes my expression pedal is a volume pedal, and if I do it like this, that it's off, then I have no volume. So I have to. Anyway, I probably said that backwards, but so in this particular song, I'm using the fuzz on the melody, and how much of the fuzz. Let's see. Yes, so I'm controlling how much of the fuzz I'm using. So here's the regular. So it's in there, but it's very little. I can turn the fuzz up. So, that's probably too high right there. Yeah, I have to play this on it. A little bit of this on in order to do it, to explain it too. Do I have? Here we go. Another thing that's not on the record. We'll get to it in a second.
That's okay.
That is definitely not right. What is... Oh, I know what's supposed to be happening. It's not only that. Oh, that's why. It's live. Just remember that. It's a live show.
Yeah. It's okay.
Live experience. Okay. Got it. Now I know why that was said. All right, so what's supposed to happen in the melody is I'm playing the chords, then the melody, and it's a fuzz, and fuzz is on. Fuzz off. And I always wanted to do something like that with my other rigs, and I could never do anything like that. Let me just back up a second here. Anyway, I was trying to explain. So I have the fuzz is attached to the expression pedal, so I can play rhythm, and it's out of the signal. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yes.
it does. It makes plenty of sense. And I got to tell you something. That song, what's the name of that song?
Reflections.
Reflections. Every time you play it on a Tuesday night, it makes me smile automatically. It's like one of my favorite songs that you've ever
cool.
written. I think it's a masterpiece from you. And
I
they're
agree.
all your songs are great, but that song is like, forget it.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, and please don't take this anything but a compliment. That song belongs on Ave Musicom.
All right. I'm a big Eric. You
Yeah,
know, I'm a
I
big
mean-
AJ fan.
Yeah, well, you're getting a lot of love for that in the chat there, and I agree with Dave on that. So, Dave, help us from a tone standpoint, because when Larry took the fuzz out of the signal path, you heard how broken the amp was, right? I mean, you heard the
It was
distortion level of the amp,
still
right?
distorted. Yes, it was still
So-
distorted.
but not overly distorted. And,
No.
And so for our viewers, if they want to try to capture Larry's tone on Reflections, then would you agree that the key is a broken up amp, a slightly
Or-
distorted amp, a fuzz pedal, and a delay?
Well, what I would do is, if you have a 3-channel amp, or even if you have a 2-channel amp, I would use the second channel and use your guitar volume and keep the guitar volume lower so that it would appear as if it was not as distorted. And then if you're playing, when you're playing the other parts of the soloing, turn your volume up and put a fuzz face on or something with whatever fuzz pedal you want to use.
Cool. So rock guys don't need to be afraid of the psychedelic fuzz pedal. They
No.
can embrace it. Yeah.
Yep. And make sure you're using your neck pickup, because if you have a very bright bridge pickup, it ain't gonna work.
All right, Dave, that's a good point. So, so for a long time, fuzz gurus, Jimmy, David Gilmour, all single coil kind of players. I mean, how does a humbucker player use a fuzz pedal to do how does a humbucker player embrace the fuzz pedal to emulate the tone that Larry was just?
You can, because his pickups are humbuckers.
Yeah.
Well, only the bridge pickups are humbucker.
Well, okay, but still, we're not using even if you're using a double humbucker guitar, when you go on a neck pickup, it's going to sound great. It's always going to sound great. But if you're using a bridge pickup humbucker, use your tone knob. Bring your tone down just a little bit. It'll sound great.
Yeah. Jay, Ty. I'm reading. I got too many things going on. I'm reading the sections over here. Ty, I wanted to say that most of my lead sounds are all the same. And I had the wrong clean amp on here too, by the way. For a second, it's the Marshall Plexi, and I have a. I have one of these. Dave, can you switch?
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's a Tremolux on top, and a Marshall. You can't see it. Can you see it? Oh, there you go. Oh, you can see it. Okay.
By the way, what
That's
strap is
good.
that on that amplifier?
That is a strap my friend Vic Victor Ratz gave me, and it's a Carlino.
Beautiful.
I think it's Carlino strap. Plus, this is I use Judy head straps mostly. But
Yes, we
that's
do.
just an amazing strap that it was a gift. And I was like, all right, it's a cool strap. Anyway, so here's my two basic tones. Actually, I should do it in.
because the key to that violin tone, Dave, is that fuzz pedal used with a broken amp, right?
Yeah,
A distorted
absolutely.
amp. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
It's very hard. If you used a clean amp with that fuzz, you'd sound more like Keith Richards. It'll be that type of breaking up, for Keith Richards style chords. Mm-hmm. But you have to have some sort of overdriven amp with a fuzz face to sound like that violin.
But slightly overdriven.
Yeah.
Yes, not terribly overdriven. Yes.
So I'm gonna say, so those are the two real amps. I mean, I have my other favorite amp in the world is the Pro Junior, which is kind of based off a Tweed circuit. But so here's the in the Fractal. Here's the Tremolux. That's what I was supposed to use in the clean sounder, but I didn't. If I put the back pickup on. Otherwise,
That's
it's
great
pretty clean.
Billy Squier tone right there, Larry.
Cool. And then the other, see, so this is in every preset I have, and pretty much the same settings. That's the plexi. So it's the jump plexi. So that's enough for a lead. And actually, sometimes it's a little hotter than I normally do it. On some songs, it's more like, oh, actually, it's 7 and 5. So most of my solos have the drive block on. So if I put the, that's my solo drum. And with this guitar, if I back off, I switch to pickup, 4 position, or turn the volume down. Again with the microphone here.
So what gain pedal do you have on that right now?
It's just a fast boost. It's just a boost.
Okay.
The drive is at 7 and the level is at 9.
Okay.
And the tone should be at 6. But and that is how I did things years ago, and then somewhere I stopped doing that, and then I was at a Joe Bonamassa sound check, and I gave Joe a pedal by Magic Box. I gave him what became the Chocolate Drive, but it wasn't at the time. Wasn't Chocolate Drive. He goes, "Let's see what it does," and he did what I used to do years ago, which I had stopped doing because I didn't think it was right. But he put the tone in the middle, and he turned the drive all the way up and the output all the way up. And he goes, yeah, because that's what we all want to do anyway. So he did that for a while, and he killed on it. And then he slowly started backing the gain down to about 4 or 5. And it's like, oh yeah, I used to do that. And I've been doing that now in even the Fractal world. So the output level is all the way up, or close all the way up.
Yeah. So it appears that you're getting tube distortion instead of input distortion.
Yeah, I like I mean, the amp is pretty crunchy, but it's a good it's a rhythm sound. And actually, if I switch to the Tremolux and you put the drive on the Tremolux, it actually sounds pretty good too. So here's the Tremolux.
That tone rattles me to my core.
What?
Yeah, that tone just rattles me to my core. I mean, that's just in that is part of my being. You know, just yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So there's the Tremolux, and then that's with the same boost on. Let me turn the mic off. Clean first, and then boost on.
but how perfect Lonely Night was.
That sounds amazing.
That's just a clean amp. It's a clean Fender amp with,
So good.
with the boost on. When I play singer-songwriter gigs, as a sideman, I'm not using the Plexi anymore. I'm using just one amp. I'm using that Tremolux most of the time, and it's turning it like a drive. Like if I had my Pro Juniors, or I had a Fender amp, and
Sure.
I ran pedals into it. So the only things that delays and reverb are after the amp instead of in front, like you would do if you're doing a gig with a pedal board.
Now let me ask you this. Like on my pedal board, Larry, I have my modulation after the delay.
I can't understand. I'm not sure. Let me kill this wireless and see if that's what's.
I wonder if it's me.
So you have you put the mods after the delay?
Yes.
Okay. So I go the other way. I have modulation right
Most
before
people
the delay.
do.
No, it's not. It's got to be coming from here.
Huh.
Check 1 2. Say something, Dave.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's so distorted. It's like robot voice.
Wow.
Can you take off the other camera for a second?
Yep. Hang
Maybe
on.
that's doing it.
Now? How about now?
No. Let me turn off the Wi-Fi on my computer. Talk.
Check 1 2. Hey, 1 2.
Wow, it's so weird. Okay, that's not it. I don't know what it is.
Well, how about I do this? Let's see. Let me do this. Hang on. Now? How about now?
Same. I can kind of hear it. You have to talk. You have to talk really
I'll talk slowly. Is that
slowly.
good?
I can. Yeah, it sounds like we're in Battlestar Galactica, and you're
I
trying
don't
to tell me
understand that.
they're about to attack.
But I will say this. You're coming in clearly,
Okay. Cool.
and it should be fine on YouTube. What I said was I have my modulation post-delay on my pedal board.
yeah.
Most people have their modulation before the delay. Like Ty said, he likes his mod before the delay.
Yeah. on
What's
an
your
analog
take
board,
on it?
Yeah.
What's your take?
Well, in the past, in the real world, I would have had I would have had the modulation before, except for a time period when I had my when I had the 2 Pro Juniors. One of my favorite rigs was I had that Boss CE1 chorus ensemble, the big
Oh,
one,
yeah.
and that's what split into stereo. And I would go into a tremolo pedal on one side and then go in. So it had to be after the delays. It had to be after the delay. It was a mono delay, so it had to be after that. But so the beauty of embracing the technology world now with the fractals, I have some rigs where things are. I mean, I use a different preset per song, so it's like I have a completely different rig per song, except that I use the same amps. So the amps are pretty much the same. The cabinet's pretty much the same. Cabinet's definitely the same. The amps are pretty much the same, and the same, almost the same settings. I could go, you could go crazy and have radically different settings and amps and stuff like that, but they're pretty much the same. But sometimes I have the reverb before the amp. I mean, before the delay, and sometimes I have the reverb after the delay. I normally like reverb before the delay. Certain songs, certain things that I've done in the past, I have the reverb after the delay. Most of the time, we like phasers. I like phasers and flangers and stuff before the amp.
Me too.
But there's a couple of songs where, like on, actually, it's an example. On Sister, I had the phaser before the amp, and on and there's a flanger as well. But on the Traveler, which I played with showing the delays, all that modulation is after the amp. Which is a different feel, different vibe. I have, it depends. If I'm using the flanger as an electric mistress, it's usually before. If it's going to be something else, I have it after the amp.
Okay.
Some things, if I want the delays, I want it to break it up. In a delay, I want it to be different. It depends if I want to highlight something. If I want to highlight the delay is going to be less. If I want to highlight an effect, a modulation effect, it's after the delay. Chorus, I usually like before the delay.
Me too.
Yeah.
But what's cool about embracing the whole modeling world is that it's like you don't have to be either or. You can set it up however you want per song or per situation. And like I said, singer songwriter things, almost everything's set up as if I had a pedal board in front of me and I'm using one preset or two presets for their entire show. Whereas if I do my show, I'm using a different song, a different preset every song. And I'm not going so far as like the Edge does, which is recreate my entire rig from whatever record I did
Right.
or the song and stuff like that. But it's a different vibe. And I was using different amps, but it sounds really bizarre to me. And I know it would drive soundmen crazy if I had a different amp on every song. It just the tonality would just be like really bizarre. So that's why I use the same amps. As if but clean amp is always the same. The dirty amp is always the same. Some songs where it's the plexi with the drive change. The drives changed a little bit lower for the clean sound, but it's still the plexi. Yeah.
By the way, how's it sound now? Is it cleaner?
Huh?
Am I cleaner sounding now?
The cleaner sound I have?
No, am I sounding cleaner to you?
No. So I can't. Should I call
How do I
in?
sound?
Should I get out and call back in or no?
Yeah, drop out for a second and see
Okay.
what happens.
All right.
So, Dave, I know you're going to show your pedal board lately. I've actually
Yeah.
got a pedal board leaning against the wall over here. I actually did a gig a week or so, as you know. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually did a gig, I guess Saturday will be 2 weeks ago. I actually got out and played a gig and ran an all analog a rig.
Is this
And,
something that you could show us right now?
I can unpack it real quick. So there's a snake, there's
Oh.
a snake built into it, but I can unpack it real quick. But
Yeah.
I set it up exactly like Larry just talked about.
Okay. Is that better, Larry?
Reverb's
better.
post delay.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So that's exactly how I set it up. Reverb's post delay, mods pre delay. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Most of my pedal boards forever have been that way. And then I decided that I don't like modulation on my delay. I just don't like it. I don't like the way it sounds. It sounds messy to me.
Sure.
So I
That's an
decided,
80s thing. We used to have chorus on the delay. Chorus on the distortion too.
Yeah, for some things it's good, and I do like a little bit of detune on my delay, a little bit of warble, but
I love it.
Not,
I love it.
what's that?
I love that chorusy effect on the delay. I love
But-
it.
Yeah,
But there's difference when the delay when the delay is causing the chorusing than when you have a chorus pedal
correct.
going in, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Jay, I keep saying it. Ty.
Yeah.
Hey Ty. Hey Ty.
I wish
you use-
I wish I were as good looking and as handsome as Jay is. But
Jay Hannon is a handsome dude.
he's a handsome guy.
Ty, are you talking about the chorus wobble from a delay, or are you talking about like having a chorus pedal on along with
Oh,
your
I
delay?
like having the chorus like pre-delay. Like for me, like the "Is This Love" solo from the '87 Whitesnate record and John Sykes's magical vibrato. That to me is perfect,
Okay.
and I love that. So that's always for me, Larry. That's always because I'm an old guy. That's always the baseline.
Cool. It's
Oh, only I don't have his magical vibrato.
Does anybody?
No, he's truly unique in that department. Although Zach Wilde, look, love him or hate him, I mean he's very very close.
Zach has pretty intense vibrato.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's listen. I love it. I love the way Zach plays the guitar. Loves it. Love it.
So I'm going to ask a question, guys. Do you guys mind going a little past 10 o'clock since we haven't gotten to the records yet?
Have we? How long have we been on?
We've been on an hour and a half.
No.
Yeah, it's 9:39. Shall we get to Shadows on the Soul?
Sure.
All right, so you played a little bit of Fear No Evil before.
Mm-hmm.
What made you go to that as the first song? What was the thought behind that being the first song on the record?
I liked the way it set things up. I really liked the way it felt. I didn't seem like it hit you over the head right from the start, but it also left you feeling like, all right, this is a little bit more of an intense record than if the title "Shadows on the Soul" didn't get you thinking that it's going to be an intense record, then that Fear No Evil, that title, and then the vibe of the song, I think does.
Very cool. The song Tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one where you're detuned on the guitar, correct?
Yes, that is my favorite song right now.
I think I'd like to hear that. I think everyone in the chat should probably listen to that whole song. I think you should play it. So this is Tunnel, everybody.
Yeah. And just so you know, it's not. It's just using the pitch, virtual capo, in the pitch block. So if I played next to the microphone, you'd hear the original pitch of the strings, which would sound really bizarre. But if I mute the microphone, because it has a lot of juicy tremolo in it, and then in the bridge, it has flanger and panner, and actually it should be harmonic tremolo, which I love as well. It's just kind of wet. All right, so here's the song. something like that. But check out the record.
That was awesome.
Thank you. I forgot that, Dave, I use fuzz in that, in the first part of the solo. I didn't even realize. Like,
Yeah, I heard that.
then it goes into the regular solo sound.
Man,
But
that's just, it's
Lord.
incredible. It's incredible.
It's
That,
really incredible.
it's funny, every song that I hear you play, it's like, that's my favorite song. No, that's my favorite song. You have, all your children are just amazing children.
thank you, Dave.
And I don't say this because we've been buddies for, 30 years, 32 years now? Crazy amount of years. Half a lifetime. But I'm so proud of your work, man. Just so proud of your work. It's almost like it was mine.
Cool.
I don't
Hey,
have
Carla's
any.
on there.
I don't have any work.
You don't have any work?
I don't have any work like that.
Hey, how many times I've been like, Dave, you need to make a record. Dave, you need to make a
I
record.
know.
I have been busting your chops for how long now?
Many,
Make a
many
record,
years.
Dave. Make
As soon
a
as I'm
record,
healthy
man.
enough to. As soon as I'm healthy enough to sit in a chair for more than 20 minutes.
My friend Carla is on here. Carla and Bill is who I was mentioning earlier when I played that version of Fear No Evil in Phoenix, and I was talking about being sick at their house and stuff like that. I don't know if she was on when I was talking about that then, but I just see them on there on the chat.
That was tremendous, Larry. I mean, thank
you.
you for that. Yeah.
Hey, I just have to say a little couple people. Vince Janella is here. Hello, Vince.
Hey Vince,
Joshua
Vince.
Jones is here. Josh was another great young guitar player.
Fantastic player.
is that who you
Yeah.
told me about earlier? No.
No, that was Cameron Brown.
Okay, Cameron Brown. I will
I'll tell
definitely
you
think-
later.
Okay.
We have a lot of people here today, right now. A lot of new people that I haven't seen. These are probably all Larry's friends. So welcome to the show, everybody.
Tom Atkins is on here. I gotta say a big shout out to Tom Atkins and Chris Stark and everybody who when I got up late because I was up late, and then when I finally turned on Facebook. Besides all of the Facebook love, which everybody, thank you so much. Those guys I met at the Dream Theater, at the Dreamcatcher events. This is the Steve Vai 4.0, 5.0, and Satriani G4 experience when I was teaching on those. And they did a video for me today. And it was Federico Miranda and Michael Brock, I'm drawing a blank, and Chris and Tom and Andy Timmons. And Andy, it was great to hear. Always great to hear Andy play, but he said some really kind stuff at the end there, and it's 18 minutes long. I was like, wow, it's pretty long, but it was amazing. And thank you guys, thank you Tom and Chris and everybody for making that. And I'm sorry I'm not mentioning everybody was in it, but it was just great. Absolutely
Overwhelming.
great. Yeah, it's great.
Very cool. Very cool. And again, happy birthday, Larry.
Thank you.
All right, so what do you want to talk about next on this record?
Did we do Shadows on this? Oh, we didn't do Shadows on this.
Let's do that. Do you want to play it or you want me to play it here?
You can play it there, but let me explain something.
Sure.
So that one has and I'm just gonna play just a second of it. So that has this modal thing. It's another one where I was talking with Bill Stapleton about modal stuff. So Bill and Carla I met at the G4 experience when I was running the jams at Satriani's camp. And then they flew down to Florida last year and for a 3-week time with me along with a few others working artists at the Atlantic Center for the Arts, and we had 3 weeks at this beautiful place in Florida, and we were just talking about guitar and playing and stuff and recording. And so Bill was asking me about modal stuff, and he forced me to really think about how I play modally. And I don't think about it all the time, but I do it, but I just don't think about it. And so this song is a good example of that, and where it's in C. Let's except I'm not in the right. Here we go. Well, so I'm playing the melody based off. Jay. I did it again, Ty. I'm so sorry. I keep doing that. Jay's on my mind. Jay, you're on my mind. Ty, you can tell me more about what I'm doing than I can. So it's based off of C minor. So my melody is going back from it hitting hard on the D to the C, and then there's a. Oops. So, I don't really know what that is. Tell you the truth, I'm falling in and out of C minor pentatonic. And this thing. Any thoughts, Ty?
Yeah, well, it sounds very Dorian to me.
Okay.
Without holding the guitar in my hand and dissecting what you're doing, that's
Okay.
where I would begin to dissect it.
Okay.
And that certainly modal. I mean, I hear you adding the ninth.
Okay.
To that progression, which would be the D.
Okay,
And
yeah.
So that that speaks to me.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I do it by accident. There's a couple of moments where, like, I did a clinic with John Finn at Berklee School of Music once, and we put with Jimmy Fury and I think Antar was playing bass, and we did 2 songs, and we did the third song, which Political Rain, and he stopped the class after that song, and then they ripped it apart in a good way. They analyzed everything
cool.
I did in it. And they were talking about how modal I was doing certain things, and then one of the times I got to open up for Eric Johnson, which was a frightening moment. I think I actually said this on the show once before. Was at the joint in Las Vegas, and it was sold out. It was amazing. Didn't expect anything. I found out 2 days before that where I was going to Vegas to open up for Eric. Had my band. Eric had the giant pedal board. Then I had a pedal board, and his tech. He told his tech to move the pedal board out of the way. I was like, no. I don't want to be responsible for Eric having a, not a good show because his pedal board's in a weird spot. So I moved my pedal board weird. I had to go play and then come back, work the pedals, and go back and play. And afterwards, his tech says, and I'm packing everything up and everything. Hey, there's people that want to buy your merch. And I said, all right, I just got to pack up my pedal board. And Eric's tech came over and said, I'll pack up your pedal board. Eric wants to see you. So I was like, uh-oh, what did I do? Did I piss him off somehow? And I came up to his green room. He had a little amp there, and he had a guitar, and he's playing. He goes, that was lovely what you were doing. And he's playing the chords to Political Rain, and then he's talking about all this cool stuff I did. I'm like, yeah, I didn't do any of that. He goes, no, you were doing this, and you did this, you were doing this, and you did. I was like, yeah, you might have been doing that up here while I was playing the song. But he ripped it apart. He analyzed it, and a lot of the stuff he said actually was the same thing that they said, what John Finn said to his class about how I was playing modally. And I call them pivot points and tonal centers where I'm doing it. In that song, there's like 5 different tonal centers for me. And that's when it's 20 minutes long. When it's 40 minutes long, God knows. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't always know exactly what I'm doing as far as modal playing. I always think of myself as playing major scales and minor pentatonic, and that's about it.
And I think the important takeaway, for anybody watching, Larry, is that you hear this in your head, and you're able to translate it here. And I mean, that's really what it's all about, right? Because we're making music in our head, like beyond the theory point.
You always want to make music.
You want to make music, and you hear this music, and then you're able to translate it. And I think that is, I mean, that's the most special part of all of this, is that you're able to do that, and you make it look so effortlessly or effortless that
Sometimes it's not.
it's inspiring. It's inspiring to watch you do what you just did as you're dissecting your own piece of, you're unpacking your own composition. That's inspiring to watch.
Trying to figure out how to make it work. Yeah. So if I knew more, I don't know. I don't. You know, I'm working on it. I've had interesting conversation with Steve Vai about it too.
I'm sure that was very. I'm sure that was very interesting.
With Steve, it's interesting because Steve embraces, you know, the full-on theory about how everything, but then he also embraces everything is nothing, and it's about like one note speaking a million things, you know. So Steve is on a whole nother plane. Dave, why don't you play the song?
Okay.
Play the song.
Yeah, sure. Shadows on the Soul, everybody.
Cool. Thank you. Oh, is that coming through your phone, Dave?
Yes.
Oh, I could play it from here. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Let's do that then. You'll have to excuse me for just a moment, guys.
Sure.
Yeah, but you know, Larry, I agree with you. You know, Vi is on a completely different level, and so is Satch,
Yeah.
and so is Petrucci, and so are you. I mean, all of us mere mortals look to you guys, as the torch bearers.
I don't know about that. All right, here's the track. That is Shadows on the Soul, the title track. I was trying to show the album cover artwork, which is done by this artist in Santa Fe, New Mexico, named Linda Storm. That's kind of cool.
Great track, beautiful
Thank you.
artwork too, Larry.
Thank you.
I mean, when you were developing, let's just talk about the artwork for a minute, since you brought it up. I mean, did you and the artist did you guys concept the image together?
Yep. I got together with Linda Storm, and we spoke about where does some of the stuff we talked about at the beginning of the show about where the album was coming from for me and what I was going through, and she was asking me what does Shadows on the Soul mean to me, and it's a phrase that actually comes from George R. Martin, from who wrote Game of Thrones. And when I lived in Santa Fe, George is a big Santa Fe person, and it's about when for me, it's about when people leave, but they leave something on you. They've gone on, but a piece of them is left, which is that shadow. You know what I mean? There's still a piece of them on your soul. So that was Linda's concept, and I had done a show at Linda's art gallery last year, and it's her work is just stunning. I mean, her if you get a chance to go to Linda Storm, look her up, Linda Storm Art Gallery online, and first of all her old paintings are huge pieces, and there's a lot of depth in them, a lot of like, what's going on here? There's a lot of story in it. So I wanted her to do that. And then the cover for The Light Within, which is the acoustic record, is done by an artist that I met in Australia last year named MJ and Jenny. And so she had done all the artwork for the guitar festival that I played at. And I was like, wow, this is cool. And we had talked about some stuff. And then when I was thinking about who was going to do it, I thought about both of them. When it was going to be one record, I was like a little torn of which artist I wanted to do. Then when it became two, it was clear. But the image, people keep asking me, why is there an electric guitar on? Why am I holding an electric guitar on The Light Within? And it's because that was originally going to be for Shadows on the Soul, but then ended up being the meaning of the record flipped on The Light Within. And I had already asked her to start. She already started on it. I wasn't going to say, can you start over again? And change the guitar to an acoustic. So, but Dave, you all right?
I'm in a bit of pain, but I'm okay. I wanted to ask, and I'm sorry to ask on the air, and if you can't do it, that's okay. But would you like to come back next Thursday and do the acoustic record with us?
Sure.
Is that okay with you?
What is next Thursday?
I don't know, the 10th.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, because not that anyone needs to know what's going on with me, but I can't sit anymore.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and it's a different show. It's a different the different records, different show, stuff like that.
So, forgive me, guys. If you guys want to continue, I'll just split, and then I'll turn the show off after. Or you guys want to say goodnight here, and we can
reconvene next week.
Reconvene next Thursday. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll reconvene with you, Dave. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone in the chat. Forgive me. Normally, I'd go as long as I possibly can. I'm having a bit of a health problem at the moment, and I can't sit anymore. But thank you so much for doing this, Larry. This was an amazing show.
And everybody got to look at the double neck and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. And your phone died, I believe.
It died?
Yeah, because I don't have the picture anymore.
Someone called.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened. Yeah, I forgot to put her on Do Not Disturb.
That's okay.
All right.
Everyone in the chat, good night. We'll see you next Thursday with Larry Mitchell.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll go over...
Larry Mitchell, thank you, and happy birthday.
Yeah. Yes, we'll talk about The Light Within, the acoustic EP. And I promise I will be all better by next week. And we'll do this again. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a great night.
Good night.